Couple of weeks ago, I had this idea, right? It was like 1 a.m. in the morning. I was like, what can I do with my life? And so pretty much I told myself, okay, in the coming week, I want to flip 1K to a large amount, right? So obviously I had to pick an amount that I'd like to flip the account to, and I came to the conclusion that I wanted to flip the account to 25K. So pretty much the next week came along and I was set on making this a reality, alright? So pretty much in this video, I just want to review the trades that I took. I'm just going to be like doing a little voiceover of the trades that I took. Yeah, showing you guys the withdrawal, showing you guys me receiving the withdrawal for all the skeptics out there. Obviously, you know, the markets are not easy. It is very hard to do. It is very tedious. It can be very stressful to do. If you are a trader, that's the number one thing to, you know, take note of, that not all traders are the same. Not all traders handle their emotions the same. Not all traders see the markets the same. I did approach this video as a flip, so pretty much I display a lot of gambling type habits. When I was taking these trades, I was going full mugging. I'm going full mugging. So yeah, I was going really high risk, and yeah, I was pretty much risking the whole account throughout. When I'd make profits, I'd risk those profits to make more. I was pretty much scaling up and leveraging the account each time I made profits. Yeah, nevertheless, I hope you still find it entertaining, whether you think that it's a demo, whether you think that it's real. I just hope that you find it entertaining. All right, so I'm gonna show you what I show you. Whether you believe it or not is up to you. All right, so let's get right into it. In 3, 2, 1, and let's go. So as you can see over here in my gallery, I compiled, you know, all the videos that I did happen to take, all the videos and screenshots that I did happen to take while doing this challenge, and titled it 1K to 26K in 2 days with a 21K withdrawal. All right, so let's get right into it. So as you can see, the first trade that I took over here was a trade on gold with the 0.02, which was floating around 750 rand. So on the Wednesday, I didn't see any trades, and on the Thursday, I had 1,600. So obviously, having 1,600 balance was extremely stressful on the Thursday, because now I had 2 days left of the week to try and flip this account to, you know, a crazy amount. So I then found a trade on gold, a 0.05 entry. As you can see, boom, I entered with the sniper entry at that point, and price then moved on in my favor. So on this day, which was a Thursday, the 11th of July, it so happened to be CPI news release as well, Consumer Price Index. So this is something that I wanted to capitalize on, right? If inflation was whatever, I don't really want to get into the fundamentals of it, but I pretty much utilized CPI to then make me some profits. I pretty much just waited for price to pull back, and then I entered high risk with the 0.35 and waited for news release to come out. When news came out, boom, price shot in my favor. This is how those trades were looking, right? As you can see, we had the 0.05 down over there, and then price was fluctuating or consolidating a little bit, and in this I found me an entry at 23.79 around this area over here, and I entered there with the 0.35, right? So with the 0.35, of course, I was risking a little. I was risking 600, but seeing that there was news and I was exposing myself to the Anyways, getting right back into it. Over here, I knew that I was exposing myself to, you know, news and that would mean I was exposed to slippage and all sorts of fuckery in the markets pretty much. So even though my stop loss was gonna lose me 600, if the market went against me, right, if the market shot down before shooting up once that CPI news release came out, then I most likely would have lost the whole account, right? I wasn't only gonna lose the amount I was risking at the stop loss. So pretty much I had these two trades, and I waited for that news release, which was at like 2:30 on the day. So as you can see over here, my balance was 1,600. The first trade was floating 890, and the second trade was floating 1,200. So once news came out at 2:30, the market just shot up. Boom! So the first trade was now floating 2K from that 890, and the 0.35 shot and hit take profit. And when that happened, that trade made 8,600. I've never made that amount so quickly. I'm pretty sure I made like 8,600 in like 2 minutes. Anyways, so I continued on, closed some of these profits. So yeah, that first trade was 0.05. I closed partials. I closed 0.03, which was 1.4, and at that point I had closed like 10K, 11K that day. So I continued on. Once I closed the last position on gold, my balance was now on 12,700. All right. Then I took a few more trades on US30 with the 0.05, and at the end of this I think I closed about like 2K or something, which left my balance on like 14K or like 13K if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I added the buy on US30, and on the buy on Nasdaq with the 3 lots I was actually risking 5K. And when price went against me, I added another 3 lots. So at that point, I was risking about 8K on this trade. So if I lost, my balance would have dropped from 14K to like 6K or something. So I was really high risk when I took these trades. But if you can see over there, you know, the potential of the trade, if it went all the way to take profit with the 3 lots, I would have made 27K. So it was a risk worth taking. I was willing to risk 7K to make 54K. I was willing to risk 7K to make 54K. So as you can see over here, I had 6 lots on Nasdaq, and then I had a 0.15 remaining on US30, and my balance was 13K. So the one trade then got stopped out on Nasdaq, and I had a 3 lot left. My balance then dropped to 10K. But you know, I stayed holding, and once Nasdaq started going in my favor, you know, we started seeing a lot more profits on this. So as you can see, continued pushing, and now the equity was now at 18K, even though the balance had dropped to 10K. So this was a little bit of hope for me, although I was a bit frustrated that had that trade not been stopped out, had I not lost 3K on Nasdaq, my balance would have been 13K, and I would have been floating double this amount. I would have been floating like 18,000 on Nasdaq alone on these trades. But you know, it won't always go, the markets won't always go in your favor. You gotta know how to count your blessings, take your wins, take your losses to the chin or whatever. So yeah, Nasdaq ended up making about like 10K, and US30 ended up making like 1,000. So I closed those 2 positions. At some point it was like 11.6. So once I closed these 2 trades, that left my balance. Once I closed Nasdaq, it put me at 19K. Then once I closed US30, that put me at 20K. And at this point it was like 5:30 on Friday. Market closes at like 10:30. So I had like 3-4 more hours left to try and make that extra 5K to hit the target that I had set for myself. So better believe at this point I was like, okay, I'm going full mugging. And then yeah, I was risking like 2 or 3K on gold. to try and make like 10 or something. So if that gold trade the next gold trade that I took, if it went and hit take profit, it would have left my account at like 40K. But I just left the trade early. I don't want to be greedy. So I started with the 0.30 just to test the waters. Found this trade with a simple break and retest, support and resistance type of setup. And once I got more candlestick confirmations and it looked as if price wanted to go in my favor, then I added another lot size. So then I added a 0.60 on gold. So as you can see, then had like a one lot, pretty much 0.90 on gold. So at this point I was really going full mugging. I'm going full mugging. So yeah, at this point it was like 6:10 on a Friday evening. I think I had soccer practice or something. I went to soccer practice, and then after soccer practice, so just as I got to training, I think just as I got to training, I was seeing like 4K profit. And then camera battery died. Anyways, once that happened, I had 6K floating, and I closed the 6K. And once I closed the 6K, that left my balance at 26,000 rand. I then went on to withdraw 21K. And as you can see, it split the 21K into a 3K withdrawal and an 18K withdrawal. And then, over here you see the 18K hit my bank account. So yeah, guys, that pretty much concludes this part of the video.